With the face of the music industry ever changing, I wanted to find out about the internet's effects on the music business and on that of record stores and vinyl. I spoke to Rob Jewitt, Senior Lecturer in Media and Cultural Studies at Sunderland University.
Well, the internet's had a variety of different impacts on the music industry. It's completely transformed what used to be the distribution business in the industry, when physical formats, analog formats, vinyl, compact disc, cassette were the main units that were shifted. Record companies, musicians, artists had to liaise with physical stores in order to get stock in front of potential customers. Now, the internet has done away with that by shifting everything towards a medium that has no physical presence, that can be accessed, at the speed of light by anybody at the end of a computer terminal. You've done away with that middle tier, that intermediary, really. The internet has led to the disintermediation of all content industries, and the music industry is no different to that. But there are lots of different ways in which this has kind of had an impact. First of all, there's kind of stages, I guess. You could describe the internet's impact in a variety of stages. So first of all, the internet comes along, and some of the earliest users of the internet are actually sharing files, often illicitly with each other, but not necessarily in huge numbers or huge volumes. They're often using kind of limited peer-to-peer bulletin boards in the early 1990s, and moving towards more specific file sharing clients like centralized and decentralized tools. But at the same time as that, you've also got a range of retailers coming online. So the likes of Amazon, which started off as a bookstore, moves into different marketplaces and starts selling direct to customers, taking the money out of the kind of pockets, like, if you like, of the high street retailer, as well as the kind of independent store retailer. So you have this kind of transition from digitizing files, but also kind of doing away with the nuts and bolts or the bricks and mortar kind of business before we get to where we are today, which is like the internet, direct sales to fans from bands themselves, or streaming a content that you will never ever own from services like Spotify or Deezer. So there's lots of different impacts. Well, I think this is a tricky question to answer in some respects. But since music shifted online, or since music listening and sharing shifted online, there's a kind of benefit to that. You have the ability to connect fans with other fans who might be kind of remotely, dispersed across the planet or the globe. Even since the introduction of the internet as a tool, as a distribution tool to share music, and also to share fans' appreciation of that music, you've seen people connecting with other people that are widely diverse and widely spread across the country and of course across the planet. In the past, you would probably have had music based around kind of very, very geo-located niches. So the internet's been a great tool for bringing people together to talk. It doesn't necessarily bring people together physically. And I guess that's what the music store was useful for in many respects, and still is. I am surprised to some extent. In a world of bits and bytes, music has been kind of shifted towards a digital format in the last 2 decades now, in that push from compact discs to digital downloads. Well, record stores have had a bit of an up and down period over the last 30 years. If you go back to like the turn of the 1980s, you've got like maybe 2,500 independent record stores out of like 6,500 music stores generally in the country. I was just looking at some statistics recently, and in 2007 there were only 900 independent record stores, and in 2010 there was only 269, and in 2011 there's 281. So it's back on the up. But you're literally looking at 281 independent music stores in the UK. So you could question whether or not they have survived. Mind you, those independent stores have probably survived a lot better than, say, your Virgin Mega stores, your Our Prices, your HMVs and your Woolworths, the big brand high street stores that used to sell the same things that record stores sold. So yeah, the fact that record stores survive is more of a testament to the fact that people still want to visit these stores and purchase something that's physical. Well, there has been a bit of a vinyl revival, I believe the term is. There's been more than 1 million vinyls sold in the UK alone this year. That's the first time more than 1 million vinyls have been sold in the UK since 1997. In the US, that's like they've pushed out about 8 million vinyls. Bigger country, of course, but still quite a hefty sum. And the estimates I was reading from the ASA, kind of industry body, said that vinyl's worth about £20 million in the UK, whereas like 5 years ago it was worth only about £3 million. So it's worth a significant sum of money. but that's nothing compared to digital sales and still physical format CD. So they're still dominant. But it has come back, and you know you can look to record store days and that 2007 invention, which was to drive people back to the love of vinyl. I've seen a lot of people reinvest in that physical format, even if about a quarter of the people buying those physical formats don't ever play those records at all. But that shows you something about the desire to have something for your money, for your investment. But you know, I think the kind of return to vinyl matches that kind of attitudinal shift that's come from having nearly 30 million tracks available at your fingertips on Spotify. When when you've got so much choice and it's so kind of tangentially there, but it's not there. You can't touch it, or can't feel it, or can't own it. I think the actual desire to kind of actually have something to show for what you've invested your money in when it comes to the music, which says something about you. Is kind of it's about that identity relationship that you have